What's up? Welcome back to Let's Have the Conversation with T. And today's conversation is about Jim Jones. Jim Jones. We got to have a conversation about this dude because this man is living in delusional land, a la land. So one thing about Jim Jones, it seems like he has a chip on his shoulder. He's trying to prove himself that he's like, oh man, I have all these accolades. I have balling. I got here. Check this out. Da, 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 da. But no, it's not that. Somebody need to go ahead and put their arm, their hand on Jim Jones' shoulder and let him know who he really is. Like, you're not that guy, bro. You're not him. So he was on Jadakiss and Fat Joe's podcast, and Fat Joe brought up, hey, yo, this kid was talking about you and how, like, oh, he looked up to you, he got a lot of stuff from you or whatever. And then you could tell Jim Jones got a little frustrated. This is when I cut off the interview. I was like, yo, I might have to react to this. This is my first time reacting to anything on YouTube. So this would be a first. So y'all let me know in the comments how I did. But anyways, we're going to go over into the video because I seen that Jim Jones got a little frustrated. And you could tell it felt a little tense in the room. But like, we're gonna go over here and check out this. Hopefully they don't flag me. I don't know how Jada and Fat Joe run their stuff. You know what I mean? But here we go.
I recently saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
that's my young boy.
big hits.
He's wild.
Oh, so Jim know who this kid is. He said that's his young boy. He probably sent him out there. It's probably some marketing thing. You know what I mean? It's probably something like, yo, get out there, put out a little TikTok, talk about how much I influenced you. You know what I mean?
Yo, he looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my
right?
era, in my era too. I mean,
So to be compared,
let me
that young kid out.
he was young and we loved that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break it down.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas, but remember Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade.
Yes.
So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that. I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards.
All right. We know once you get into the industry, in the music industry, yes, you will compete with, other artists, especially when you're coming up as other artists that's before you that you looked up to. But it's levels. I was younger in the early 2000s, but when was Jim Jones like in any competition with Nas? Technically he was, but it's like, I don't see any correlation with no Jim Jones or Nas, and like who was comparing a Jim Jones album then to like a Nas album coming out around that time. Like I said, I was young, but I am a student of hip hop, and I do go back and do my research. I don't see this, so I understand what he's trying to build up to right here.
Towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation. We're talking about 94, 93. I was in 11th grade. Nigga, it's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people that, yeah, he's 20-some years old, that goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy, that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is.
See, now I understand what he's saying. I understand when it comes to generations. Like, okay, boom, kid that was young in the 2000s, they heard Ballin'. They know Dipset, Cameron, Joel Santana, right? Nas is, he early 90s. He was younger then, he was big then. So some of those kids in that era didn't know Nas. Like me, I came up in like the Dipset era, elementary school to middle school. So like Nas wasn't like someone that was out there that we was like looking up to like dress and stuff at the time. So like the Dipsets, like he said before, they looked up to Nas, right? So it right now it's like a generational thing. But I don't know how young this kid was to talk about Jim, because it's some people that in this generation probably when it is, you just don't understand or know who the other artist was before you. So I don't know. I wonder how old his kid was.
22. He's born in 03.
Not all of them. Some of them know. But
You know what I mean?
A lot
Like,
of them know.
Yes.
but
Yeah.
it's the era.
Some music.
But look, we're gonna be honest too. A kid in this generation will know who Nas is before Jim Jones. Let's just be honest. Like Nas is a certified, bona fide hip hop legend. Like you look up hip hop in the dictionary, you might see a Nas. You can see a Nas photo. It's that's type of staple that Nas is to hip hop. Like his album, his first album, his debut album, Illmatic, is looked at like as one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. So I don't know anything in Jim's category that even come close to that. So yes, it's kind of hard to see if any kid that know what hip hop is or listen to hip hop, even a casual, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. I don't have no problem with that, not knowing who Nas is. But
No,
There's some kids that.
no, I love that.
There's some kids that love
My
hip
son's
hop.
20, so I mean,
But he's your son.
He's your son.
know?
He's your son.
No, but he know.
My son,
they know about
my
Nas.
sons can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
like,
let's
keep it a buck. You heard? Let's keep it a buck because you'll bring it up. There must be some type of misconception or what's that word? When it comes to Jim.
See, now he's getting frustrated. But look, he also can see, you can say this too. If Jim Jones' kid wasn't his kid, would he know a Jim Jones song? You know, like
Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
We made him take the darkies off.
a lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them. But they forget I got a hell of a catalog. Me, Jim Jones, myself, gold records, platinum records, gold albums, platinum albums. No, me, Jim Jones. No diplomats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record. Then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries. Then check all them niggas' entries and shit like that. And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody. But I hear the comparisons and the niggas be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this shit. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I got to show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries, then pull up my billboard entries.
Listen, we can't compare.
oh, yeah, okay, yeah. See, this is the frustration. Now you bring it up. See, now, you know, we men, we got egos, you know what I'm saying? Pull up my billboard, you know what I mean, stats to Nas's. Come on, Nas has, I don't know how many, what, do Nas got like at least 7 years in the game before like Jim? I could be wrong on my math there. But it's like what Nas was doing and what Jim was doing. And it's some people that actually did a little evidence and put like, they on Twitter, I saw, I'm gonna show it, but they showed Nas billboard entries to Jim Jones, and like Nas wins by like a landslide. And you can tell that Jim is getting frustrated right here. And he has some, I don't know, he got some pent up energy for like people that's kind of playing with his name. And don't get me wrong, I like Jim Jones, some of his, like his later albums. Like he has some good stuff. He's really consistent, especially as of late. So I'm not shutting down Jim Jones' catalog at all. But like comparing your catalog and like who you is as a stature as a rapper to Nas, I don't know.
The two. What I'm trying to tell you is
I want to go there.
Hold on.
I want to go down the line now because now we going down the line. He's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
yes. Let's go statistically.
It feels great.
No, but I want to go statistically because when people be like,
I feel the same way. We all feel the same way.
And forget about the numbers. My numbers back up.
Let me step up to the forefront. Us in the music of hip hop culture have a problem. Is a thing, and there's nothing. The world goes off numbers, but in hip hop, we don't pay enough homage to those before us the correct way, and sometimes it's even myself. So it gets no other genre.
See, so Jadakiss is going to like some of the thought process I had watching this. Like we are really competitive, especially in hip hop. Hip hop is just, they call it a competitive sport. It's a sport. So it's like, it's a contact sport. It's a lot of like bravado. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men on here just being like, oh, I can do this better than you. I did this better than you. It's just, there's a lot of back and forth. And Jada's gonna get into like, different genres. You just don't see this. You can even go into the NBA. Like the NBA and like hip hop, for some real reason, had like a crazy correlation. Like you could link them. It's like it's kind of like uncanny on like when you can see how older athletes talk about the athletes these days, even with commentating, and you can see that these guys right here are older statesmen in hip hop, and they commentating about the game technically, and Jim Jones technically being like he's an athlete that's still playing in a way, so he's still trying to be more competitive. So I understand it, but like you're sitting next to two guys that I feel like you can't really compare you probably can't even compare your career to them, like, I don't know, Billboard wise. Maybe closer to Jada, like solo wise, but like Fat Joe, like, and you're doing side by side to Nas, and you got two guys right here that you probably can't compete with that sit next to you. It's kind of crazy.
Music, fucking, I don't even know who to use.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, hip hop is like basketball.
Jelly Roll's never gonna say that about
hip hop is like basketball.
Tim McGraw.
John Morant get on the court with LeBron. He's going to kill LeBron. So this is what this is about.
Any of that shit is murder.
This is what this is about. There's nothing that could. There's never is me. You putting me up against anybody.
Look, see, he made the comparison to basketball. I didn't watch this full clip. I did. I'm just saying, you just can tell where it's going. It's like repeating history. Like you just know. It's just how it is, bro. Like I knew he was gonna go this route. Someone was taking it down that way.
Taking me every time. Every time.
Okay,
every
but
time.
let me
categories.
say something though, Jim.
In every category,
Jim,
I get busy.
You started off saying you grew up watching Nas. The only problem,
I didn't take that away from
the only situation I'm saying now to you, right? There is no situation.
I always tell people
kids
that
should
story.
worship you.
When it started.
No, I'm not doing this. I did not know it was going there.
Because you're really friends with him.
He gonna be mad at you.
Not me. I don't know him.
Recently.
All right, so that was a cool clip. I talked a lot of trash about Jada and Fat Joe's podcast when it first came out. I hope it's successful. They getting some clips off. They got some traction going on here. So maybe we got a good thing happening. You got me reacting to this. I know Jim Jones can get on the platform. He makes like a good interview. Like he's entertainment. Like it's something else that he has out right now too, going at Pusha T. We want to see when the flame of that's gonna get into some fire. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Pusha gonna probably say something and address Jim on that album. Because the way Pusha moving right now, he's addressing everything. He's not holding nothing back. So right now, people are trying to press Pusha to talking to Jim. I think Pusha kind of probably holding off. But from this clip, man, Jim seems a little frustrated. But come on, bro, we gotta understand, man. I just don't see you in any competition when it comes to Nas and Billboard success. Not even like just overall as an artist. Like, look, I can pull up this little. Dang, I'm tripping. I can pull up what I seen on Twitter real quick. So we got. Oh man, I'm messing up all this. So look, we can see Jim Jones and Nas Billboard chart comparisons. So you got Nas with 79 plus single released, 15 plus Billboard Hot 100 entries, hits. I can't. Hate Me Now. If I Rule the World. Then Jim Jones got 47 single released, 2 Billboard Hot 100 entries, just 2. And, We Fly High, Pop Champagne. Nas wins by a landslide. Like, it's right there, man. It's simple. Sometimes a lot of men, like, we overestimate a lot of things about ourselves. Fights, the way how we can get women. And also when it comes to, like, competitiveness. Like, we really competitive. So, Jim, just relax, bro. I'm telling you, somebody just put their hand on Jim's shoulder and just let him know, like, hey, bro, you're not that guy. But, all right, you guys tell me if y'all like the reaction. It's my first time doing this. I'm new to this whole YouTube thing, especially doing the solo stuff. So, if, like I said, the conversation starts here and it ends in the comment section, or it still goes on in the comment section. So, yeah, subscribe, like, support your boys at Beyond Beats and Culture, man. Check out my co-host. He has his own little solo segment called Interlude. Go check him out. He always talking good stuff. He talking about Chameleonaire and Bun B and all those guys over there. I know, he has a weird section of artists he likes, but anyways, this has been Let's Have a Conversation. I'm T, and I'm out. Peace.